and good morning. Welcome back. I'm Natalie, and today we're going to be launching something new. So I'm going to wait for a few people to join us. And oh, that did a little jump. Went from 0 to 4. So don't be afraid to say hi and let us know that you're watching. And I also have Ian here today.
Morning.
So this stream could become complicated, couldn't it? So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to ask questions, and I'm sure Ian will try and answer as many of them as he can.
No.
And good morning, Linda. Linda says hi because you're not paying attention. You try and get it on your phone, are you?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it on my phone. Morning, Linda.
Okay. So I'll wait for a few more to join us before I get and actually do reveal. Morning, Theo.
Morning, Natalie and
It's been so long you forgot.
I forgot my name.
That's been a while, isn't it, since we've done a joint one? So what, Christmas? You last did a joint stream? Christmas party, wasn't it? So, what am I sneaking under the cover? So, the first bit you should recognise, we have the frame
Morning,
from
Carol.
our foil shield and So, welcome to Foil Shield Part 2. Now, this is just one of the pieces. So, you're actually going to have 5 individual frames. Now, this is a prototype, just so that you can see, and we will be launching the pre-order later today. Hopefully. So the link will be going up on Plannercraft and Go Create, and also on the main group. So you'll be able to purchase that later. And good morning, Carol. And yes, it is nice to have them here. We don't get it very often these days, do we? So it's a special treat. So we have, I'm going to introduce this one first of all. So this is the 6-inch jig because it fits a 6-inch square. Okay, so I'm going to start with it in that position. But
Morning,
we also hi Mum. We also have the actual star that we can use as well. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two. And then alongside that, you're also going to have a 5-inch jig, a 4-inch jig, an 8-inch frame, and a 7-inch frame. There you go. So those of you that already have set one will have a duplicate in the 8-inch frame, but I thought that would probably be useful anyway, because then your 5-inch jig actually slots into that. And my brain's gone.
You're good looking to me on that one. It's all your idea.
Yeah, it's all on me. So I had a bit of a brainwave, didn't I, last night, and it was just like, yeah, gotta get it down on paper. So into each of these frames you're also going to have a guide. So that's what this centre bit is here. And that can show you 2 ways of working. So the bottom section here is when we're using our star shape, and our top section is when we're using our 6-inch square. Okay, and you have options here. So if you want to use this particular frame in your stamp platform, that's fine, you can do that. It will dangle off the end a little bit in some of the smaller ones, but that's fine as long as it's got an open side that it can do that. Okay, if you want to use this on something like the station with your stencils, then you can do that too. Just have your stencil hinging at the top so that you can repeat that section. That give me another idea then. See, I'm having one of those days today where I'm like, oh, you could do that, you could do that. Okay, and of course you can put it in your scan and cut. And make, well, or electronic cutter, yeah. It's a bit easier with the scan and cut because you can do your background scan so that you can actually see your guide. If you want to work with it in your silhouette, you are going to have a digital copy of your guide that you can import and play with too. So it just means that you just have a little bit more lining up to do to start with, and then once you've kind of got there, then you just rattle through your cuts. Okay, so let's get this onto a mat. I was brave, wasn't I? So first of all, we're going to put on our frame as normal. So address to the top, logo to the bottom. Okay, then we're going to put our frame, or insert into our frame I should say, like so. So when you get yours, it's going to be the same plastic material as the outer frame, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be a different colour, so it's not going to be the same green.
Yes, it's not easily confused.
Yes. You want it to be nice and visible, especially when you start going between the different pieces. So I have actually got an idea for a third set now. Okay, so when we pop in our guide, we want to make sure that whichever end we're using is pointing up to this top black marker here. So in this current setting where we've got the hatched area, that means we're going to be using a 6-inch square of paper. Try to say that quick. Okay. Make sure you press that down well so that it's going to adhere to your mat, because we're next going to want to scan this. Okay, so hopefully, fingers crossed. There you go. Okay, do you want to go close scan then please, Ian? There you go. Haven't been able to do that for a while. Okay, so when we are first using our guide, we are going to need to first of all put something on the mat so that we can get to do our background scan. So that could be a basic shape, it could be a pattern, or it could be something you've transferred across from canvas. So I'm going to go to pattern, and let's go for, it doesn't have to be too simple.
You can delete it anyway, can't you?
I can delete it once you get on your background scan, but ideally you want something that you probably want to keep on your mat. I'm going to go into the nature section, and let's go for a little leaf, and we definitely don't need it that big, so we can take that right down and we can go okay. Okay, and we're just going to put one on the mat so that we have something there to play with. So now we can do our background scan. Press start and off we go. Now do support your mat as it goes through the back when you've got your frame on. Just saves the frame coming away from your mat. So now we can see that we have our scan, and we can see our guidelines. So do I need to get that a little bit closer, do you think, Ian? So it can be seen a bit better.
Try.
Let me try.
Move the whole arm.
I was going to say, if we move back that way. There we go. There we go.
That's better.
Like that. Do you want to just move that top corner view, or I'll hide it for a minute? Can you do it on there, or shall I do it? Oh, wrong one. There we go. Try again. There we go. So, just so you can see. So, we can see that we've got a top area here in our guide, and that's where we want our shapes to definitely not be, because otherwise when we do our 6-inch square, it's actually going to be going off the edges unless you're going to be really cautious about going and doing a corner design. So I will cover corner designs eventually. So we want it really to be sitting in this area here, so we can bring down our leaf into this section here, like so. We're going to go to Edit, Object Edit, and we can rotate it. And so long as it's within this kind of area here, we should be okay. I'm going to do a little bit of a resize, because now that we're on the map, we can go a bit smaller, we can move it around a little bit. Let's go back there. So I'm going to go OK, just because I need to just nudge it slightly over so it's in the middle, and we can go OK again. So with the width of our design, we can see that it's going to be in that second zone of triangles. So that means that we can actually go on the black and the pink dots. So basically there's colours on the guides around the outside edge. So first of all, you have the option of just using the black dots, which is the outer black area. The next area is the pink area, so that's where you use the black and the pink. And then that centre section is the red area, and that's where you're going to use every dot on the mat. So we can go and just fill that in. And I'm going to go to fill pattern. Let's make it solid. And then we can actually colour that in. Okay. So far so good. Next, we're going to take our centre section, so that's the section with the dash lines over the top.
You could do it moving the camera so people can see your mat as well. So flip
Okay.
the camera.
So move
it, flip the camera back so it rotates back.
like that. There we go.
There we go.
There you go. So you can see there's the black dot, there's the pink dot, there's the red dots in the middle. So we're going to take this centre section out now that we've used that as our guide. And we're going to pop in our card. So I'm going to line up my corner to the black dot. So it's going to be corners that you're mainly focusing on when we're saying about black dots, pink dots and red dots. Well, they may not be necessarily pink, red and black by the time that you get them, because it depends on what colour the printing goes, because you want it to be contrasting enough that you can see it. Okay, then let's grab a pen. So I'm going to go, what do you think, go black?
If you want to borrow green.
Oh, can I have the blue?
Which one?
Dark blue, please. Thank you. Let's give it a try. New pen. So, how many of you are familiar with the 3D fun prints?
Everybody watching it, I think.
Yeah, we haven't had any highs for a while, have we?
No, you haven't done any competitions, have you?
What, the birthday challenge?
You have one entry, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had Linda's entry. I've not seen any others. I will double check after the stream. Okay, so.
Yes, it wouldn't be without them. Quite, yeah.
Yeah, best thing since sliced bread. So, I'm going to go OK. Please select and draw. And start. OK. Huh?
You're not looking at your screen now.
Oh, hang on. There we go. You didn't remind me, did you? And start. So you don't necessarily have to use fill. This could be that you just draw an outline and then colour it by hand. It could be that you're foiling. You could cut it up, yeah. But I thought to start with I'd show it with drawing. Okay. So, going back down to our piece. There you go.
No, I didn't get any more funding for it, Carol, so no, it didn't get very far, unfortunately, at the moment, so I'm still...
Let's see if I can get that angle a bit better. There we go.
Waiting. So.
Yeah. So because we were in that pink zone, we're going to rotate it round to the pink. We can go OK. Okay.
Could have done with a third camera today.
Could have done with a third camera today. Yep, so next you're going to rotate the card. Now, if you're worried at all about whether it's going to kind of clash, then you can go back, you can do a background scan and just double check if you really want to, but you don't have to. Where, as we're drawing, it doesn't really matter if they overlap. It could be that it gives us a really nice reef, which is what I was aiming for anyway. So, we can go back to draw. And we can let it go again. Need to loosen off the cable that was a little tight on it. Okay, and now that we know where we're heading, go the other way, Natty. Sheesh, come on. We can rotate that round and we can just keep telling it to just keep going. So rotate another 45 degrees. Yeah.
A little bit further back so you can see the waving.
A little bit further back. Okay. Let me see if I can feed the cable through. There we go. There we go. So we'll go OK. start, okay, stop. He's demolishing my craft room. There we go. Oh, my pen's obviously popped up just a little bit. So if that happens, number one, just check that it's still working okay. Let's get a little bit of scrap paper. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's slipped out, but I'll just double check it in the guide just in case. Let's try that again. So we'll go okay, draw, start, okay, start.
I wouldn't do that if I didn't break something.
So what I'll do is for the next one I'll change colour so we can do the multi-coloured design. I think I'm going to go for white because there's a... So we'll go okay, rotate again. And we're nearly there, so just a few more. Now obviously you do want to make sure each rotation that you have all your drawing or all your cutting done before you do that rotation, because once you move it, and while the guide is going to hold pretty much true, there's always going to be that little tiny bit of leeway for movement. So okay. Oh, more or less the same place again. Okay, give a little squiggle.
Only a basic rope ballpoint.
Yep. It's not a fancy drawing pen. So we'll have to go again. Technically, I've finished Mr. Spence. Okay, one last one for this rotation, so this goes back to the pink, and at this point, you okay?
Yeah, just one over there.
One last one. So this is how we can start to create frames on our scanning cup without lots of flapping about, measuring and rotating. Okay. So there's our first one done. Let's put the camera back up here. So that's a little zoomed in now, isn't it?
That's all right. Back a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just say, I think we need to go that way. Just a little and off it. There we go.
I'm still enjoying it.
That's what I say to that. So, if you then want to come back and add something in a different colour, first of all, I'm going to leave that initial leaf that we've done in place to start with. I'm going to go to add, go back to pattern, then pattern, and we can pick something else. So we could go for a different leaf, we could go for a little flower. I think a little flower would look quite nice, wouldn't it? And let's go for eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think I'm going to go for that one. I'm going to shrink it right down and go OK. So there's our flower, and we can bring that over here. Now what you want to bear in mind is, obviously if we put this over to the side over here, there's every chance that that is going to actually overlap one of our leaves already. And what we actually want to do is fill in this gap up here. So I'm going to go to edit, object edit, and first of all let's resize it down a bit because it's still a little big. So, oh, not that far. Sublime to the ridiculous. Too more flower. Okay, so there's our little flower. We can go OK. We can fill it. And then we can move that over. So I'm going to pop that so that it's still within our guide, and then we can zoom in and just double check how much we kind of need to nudge by. So let's zoom in, make it nice and big. No point trying to struggle to see where you're going. So now you've got this gap over here too, so if you imagine transposing that gap there to there, you've got a little bit of leeway for where you can put this flower. So I'm going to go about there. And we can go OK. OK. Then we're going to use our arrow keys here to select our leaf instead, and we can delete it.
Yeah, it is a bit at the moment, Carol. It's a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not I don't enjoy it, it's just
It's not what you thought it was going to be.
no. My heart's not in it, is it, at the moment?
Okay, so let's Let's give my white pen a little squiggle first so I'll get that nice and prepped. Now, because this is a gel pen, I'm going to go a little bit slower. Just so that we okay, is that okay?
Should be coming back.
So I'm going to go, okay. Okay, and draw. And we can then go to our settings. And we're going to lower that draw speed. So it's only a little flower anyway, so it doesn't matter if it takes a little bit longer. Are you being naughty over in the corner? You tell me, Carol, is he being naughty?
No, it's nothing to do with that. So, yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Sirik.
Oh. Okay, so needs a little bit extra, so let's go again. Let's move the camera down that way. There we go. That's cool. Didn't know we were going to be able to see it last night. That's really fun, that wasn't it? There we go. So there's our first flower. I haven't got my camera in quite the right place. There we go. So we're going to do the same again. So we can rotate it. It's one of those ones where it doesn't really matter where you start.
As long as you follow the pattern then.
Yes.
As an answer to your previous question, at the moment, probably not at the moment, but it's a case of it pays the bills, doesn't it?
Yes. Means I'm not quite stressed.
So I should probably stay and do that for a bit until I find something else.
Or until at least I get another couple of books out. As well as the other ideas that I have for this coming along. So I'm also going to be looking at creating a font that you're going to be able to combine with it, which is going to be fun. Okay, that'll do for that one. My flowers are going to be a bit more rustic, but that's fine. Let's go okay. Draw, and we'll go again.
Not very much up with the pens.
No.
They play anyway, sweetie.
It's a like the Arteza one, doesn't it? I wonder if I got a fresh one out. That's going to case upon the pens, isn't it? What did I do with those? I have spares, I know I have spares. Okay.
They're wildflowers, not shops.
Yeah, definitely wildflowers. Look at that last one.
They're not supposed to be perfect. Flowers aren't perfect.
Yeah, but vaguely flower-like looking would be good. Let's do a quick change of pen, shall we? Because it's funky, that one. Let's try a different one. So let's go up to the 1mm. So usually what I'd say is just adjust your fill setting for the size of your nib, but I think today means it's obviously going to have a bit of an issue. There we go. We're getting there. Just check that's in the right place. Tight as it goes. In there. Right. I will do one more go round on that one just because. What's new there? Okay. Hopefully, she says. Not that I can see at the moment, but hopefully. I'm just planning my next pen. That's better. Bit more like it. I do wish it would remember like what you were just doing. Would you like to do that again? Yes, please. Once more, we're feeding.
But none of them do that, do they? None of them sort of. None of them do like a quality check, do they? You know, are you happy? Yes, no, we do. You know, it would have been a simple screen to add, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Would you like me to do that again?
Yeah. Almost quality control on the brothers, I think. Bit on the next release now because we've said it.
Yeah. I spoke too soon there, didn't I?
Oh dear, what is that?
That's I couldn't really be bothered. Oh dear.
That's appalling. Spelling code.
I think I need to replace my Artezas. Oh.
We'll have to find the other ones.
I think it's right behind me in there.
Oh, well, we can't get it out now, can we? So we'll just... Not there.
It's like proper panto fashion, isn't it? Right behind you. I know what I have got I could try. What I spotted.
Yeah, that's better. You just have to do them twice.
Oh, but that takes too long. I want to get on with the next bit.
You don't want to get to the bone to press the no button.
Going, no, not good enough. Do it again. Once more.
You only get further pressing the no button. Is it a rose or a dandelion?
It's supposed to be like a
Daisy.
daisy, I think. But it's more of a... Let's see how it
Morning,
goes.
Deb. Good to see you. No need to apologise for being late. We're always.
And then I go, what are you doing home?
Did you not tell anybody?
I can't remember. That's very bad of me, isn't it?
Yeah. Here all next week as well.
Yeah.
Do it again. Gets less every time.
I'm going to change the pen.
Again?
Yeah, I have another white if I have to.
Have to go back to your gel. Go for the reliable ones.
Well, usually the Arteza ones are the reliable ones. It's obviously just... They have been going for like a year now. So I think that's you know, pretty good innings for a white gel pen. I would say perhaps they need warming up, but no. It's not that cold in here.
No. Deb's gone to Planacraft.
Where's that, Linda? Okay. Just for the sake of speed, I'm going to go on to the next one so that I can show you what I have in mind. So, let's go OK. Let's have a bit of white on these. Just in case I end up changing the pen. Yeah, all the pens are going pear-shaped. Come on, you're a brand new pen, you should work. Oh, come on. Fish.
Yeah, it needs to go again.
I won't be trying the new pen.
Just keep doing it twice, it's fine. Don't take up floor strings.
I did all the flower arrangements for the wedding, didn't I?
You did? That was real flowers.
Well,
Well, fake, yeah, but fake but real, but real.
fake but real, yeah.
They looked real. It's not even been open that much, still got the ball on the end. No? Oh, well, teeny bit of paper, do it again.
What is it today? It's the battle of white gel pens.
Yeah. Nothing's going to work today because I'm here.
Yeah. You have a very wicked laugh sometimes. What's the tinking?
You talking to me?
Oh. Do you want that one? The right
Go
one?
on, that looks a bit better. Yeah, I didn't know if you were still using it or not.
Yeah, so once you've got your first couple of designs done, you actually don't really need that guide anymore because they become the guide in and of themselves. So, last one. Yay, finally. Okay, draw. Should I try a little bit more pressure?
You could do.
Let's see if that will make it behave. You can see where I started to where I finished. It's not good.
And these guys have mothers, they'll be lucky if they're ready by that point.
I've already done my project for Mother's Day. Might have to do a bit of mending on it. And a gift box. That's about it. That'll do. I'll take that.
Is it just finally starting to work properly, is it?
Yeah.
It's got to the last one.
Yeah.
Gone, ah!
That'll do. So, let's go back up to the screen. So now that we've got that one there, we can go back. And at this point, we can do a background scan so that we can now see where we've got to with our design. Because obviously you can't leave that leaf on there and still do that drawing, because otherwise you're going to end up drawing over the leaf that you've just spent all that time drawing. And there is the reef. So at the moment this one's going to look a bit weird because you've still got that file over the top. But you need to add your next shape first. I'm going to go back to pattern. And let's do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to go to a basic shape. And let's pick a circle. I'm going to reduce it right down. Maybe a little bit bigger than that. Oh, not that big. Let's go.
And he's dropped on stream.
Hello!
Yeah,
So,
don't forget to say hello, Andy.
Up it is in the top corner. So at this point we can get rid of our flower. And we can delete it. And go OK. And we can pull in our dot. So I'm going to go to zoom so that I can see where that's going. And we can pop that there like so. So just be aware that you want to try and stay within where this leaf would be. So if you draw a circle between the two, just going to make that a fraction bit smaller. Will you behave over in the corner?
That's Andy's fault, it's not mine. But he's only doing as he was told, so I can't really blame him.
I'm going to zoom back in. There we go. So I can go OK. OK again. Now if we go into Object Edit and duplicate that, odd numbers always work well. So we have the 3. And again, it's easier to zoom in before we do this next bit. So we have one that's over our leaf there. So you can take that over there for a second. And one there. So then we can use our keys to nudge where that's going. And same with that one. Okay, so we're going to go OK. Now even though we're starting in that black position, it doesn't matter where we put those dots so long as they're clustered into one section, like so. So
What colour pen are you using?
I'm going to cut them out.
Oh.
Let's do some pretty lace work. So I could probably get away with using the standard blade, but I'll use the vinyl just because. We're going to go to cut, change the setting, and start, and hopefully this time it'll behave. Okay, so now let me just move that back down there. Focus. Come on, over here. There we go. So we have our first bit, and it's always going to cut in that same position.
Make sure you remove the dots each time.
Yep.
Cut the same thing up over and over.
Okay, so we're going to go from there. Now, if you want those dots to appear on every single bit of that rotation, you can go to the pink and cut again. But you might go, well, actually, I only want that to be every other one, so I'm going to rotate that round to the black. And we can go again. So, okay, cut.
Whilst it's doing its next cut, just fill Andy in on what the idea is, or
what the concept is.
Yes.
So basically,
why you might need 3 colours on one piece of plastic.
Right. Because there's different amounts of width for your pattern. So at the moment I'm working with one that is literally, you know, a black and pink one. So you only have that section that you fill. You can have a red, which is only like one section, which is if you're doing like a really intricate kind of border, which I'll get onto with the star shape. So it's all down to the size of the design, basically.
But the reason we wanted the 3 bits of plastic, or the 3 in one colour, no, 1 in 3 colours. Get my words right.
Oh, thank you. Pop overhead. I'll remove the squiggles.
Be back on the head.
So that's your. I think I have 4 colours on here, but we've got the black, the pink, and then the red in the middle, and then down the other end it's lines depending on what bit you're using. So if you're using a 6-inch square, you're going to use the solid section up here. If you're using the star, you're going to just use the points.
Let's go back to first one.
Yes, please. So, nearly there. One more to go.
And he says he's intrigued, it looks really good.
Mm-hmm. And then, you see, I've come up with another idea. So there's going to be cut files that are going to go with these, so that even if you don't feel 100% confident creating your own, you're going to have some that are made for you to get you started. That's what you get for doing it on no mat. That's quick cutting. Okay, let's pop that back in the guide. See, look, and that's why you have a guide. Now, just be aware of any dots that come out, as that's the last one actually. Let's see if I can figure out which dot it is that's already come out and I can take it out.
I wouldn't worry, just... Is it the last one you're doing, that one?
Yeah, that's the last one for that one. So we can go OK. Yeah, if it wasn't the last one I wouldn't bother deleting it, but and there we go.
Show it on the other.
Yep. So then we've got that frame there. So next, if you want to put border in here, you can do. So again, we can pop that back in our guide. Doesn't matter about which point you align it to, because at the end of the day you now have a circle in the middle. Let's go back up to our machine that's gone a bit on the screw with. There we go. Yeah, and let's pull that back that way. And there we go. So we're going to go OK. We're going to go back. So we've still got our scan there. I'm going to delete one of those circles, just so I don't accidentally miss it. And we can now enlarge our other circle, make it nice and big, and we can pop that into the middle. And because it resizes from the centre as we drop that down, it should stay nice and centred. Does look like it could do with a slight nudge in that way, but I don't know if that's an optical illusion. So I'll go OK, just have a look. I think it just needs to nudge just one button. There we go. That way and that way. I'll go OK. OK. Check it again. Yep, happy with that. OK. And we can go to cut. And overhead. There we go. We have a perfect frame. And that would have been so much quicker if every drawing didn't need to be done twice. But we all have those days, don't we, where the pens just don't want to play ball.
Usually
So there you go. Yeah, it's easy, you're jinxing them. So then what you can do is you can actually go back in and just put little sequins in the bits that you didn't cut out, and you have a lovely frame. Nice and easy, perfectly aligned, and all you've done is just turn a piece of card. Rather than having to go, well, if I rotate that 45 degrees and move that down halfway between that point, and is that lined up? No, just do it on your machine with the guide and ta-da! Okay, so I did say I would show you the option with the star. Where's that pink up from? Oh well. So with the star, I'm going to pop. And then we
okay, sorry. I was there.
Whoop! A little quicker than I anticipated. I'm going to pop my star in here. Actually, before I do, what did I forget? Guide. Guide. Important step. Put your guide back in, because we're starting something new. So I'm going to reset my machine. And let's think, what pattern could I use? Let's go for something. Thinking something that can cut small, so something fairly solid. Let's go back to our daisy, shall we?
No, not daisy.
Yeah, daisy. And
other brands of perfume are available.
yeah. Oh dear. So, right. Do a background scan.
Your camera's on the wrong bit.
It's okay, I'll sort it out in a minute.
I thought you said the 15-inch one always came out.
No, the 18-inch does.
Well, that's alright. That's 15.
Yes. Well, I have been using the 18 until I wrecked it yesterday.
So was that 18, is it?
Yes, it was the 18 that I wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's yours, the 15?
Oops.
You have two 15s.
Somewhere in there.
Oh.
Somewhere. Okay, so with our guide in place, we're going to move our flat in. And going to work down the bottom for a change because I put in the guide the wrong way up. That was a natty mistake. Now this time, because I want it to repeat on every single point, it needs to go a little bit smaller because we need to fit between these two guidelines here. So, object edit, shrinkies, and we're going to get them between those guidelines. Okay, and then we can nudge that down. And it's going to be a bit more important that you get this one lined up because we're going to the edge. Okay. I'm going to go okay. Now, before you go too far, consider if there's anything else that you want to do at the same time. So if you wanted to put in another item that you're going to cut, you could do that at the same time just to save the number of rotations. But that flower is going to cut on every single point unless you tell it otherwise. So if you want to skip some, you can do and do every other dot, and you're going to be able to work that one out once you see it on the actual mat. So I think I'm going to go every other dot with that one, just because of space. I don't really want to take the flare any smaller. So I'm going to pop my black star into my frame like so. And again, it doesn't matter which way round you're going. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this flower, and then you'll be able to see what I mean. Okay, a first flower cut. So we have our flower here. Now what we're going to do, let's see if we can move that down there a bit. That's a bit better. There we go. Because it's going to cut to this one. So I've moved it round 2 notches, and then we can cut again. And you can save all these little flowers that you're cutting out and actually do something else with them, or you might want to stick them in the points that you don't cut, so you end up kind of having like a tiered effect, which is really cool. So again, move it round 2 notches and cut again. 2 notches. In there, there we go. Come on. Play the game. And off we go again. Okay, cut, go.
Does anybody have any questions while Matt's cutting out our flowers?
Yeah, so for those of you that joined late, you have the 6-inch guide, which is the one that I'm using at the moment, the 5-inch and the 4-inch in the pack, as well as having a 8-inch frame and a 7-inch frame that those slot into. You have the guides that go with each of those two. And round we go again. So with each rotation, if you then wanted to add a different pattern, in theory you could do. So you end up doing more work for fewer rotations. Get it lined up on the right hole. And wait a minute. Okay. Oh,
Right.
it moved. So I have a bit of wonky donkey, Daisy. Oh well. So next one. How many there? That's what you get behind the laundromat. 1 nearly there. And we have 2 more cuts to go, and then that's it.
You've had wonky daisy all morning, why worry?
Yeah, we're just going to call this the Wonky Daisy Day, aren't we? Now, hopefully you can see why you couldn't have done this design with your 6-inch square, because it would have gone off the edges. Oh, not that one. Try that again. There we go. That button. Hand-eye coordination. Fail. Almost. Let's try that again, shall we? So, just because you moved.
Name your new photo of the Wonky Daisy Maker.
Yeah. That can be its nickname. Made a bit of a mess of that last one, didn't you? Yes, you did. There we go.
Jump it on your head.
Yep. So, I'll pop my guide underneath so you can see the cut sections. So we have a flower to each point. Now, you can bridge these gaps with something else if you want to. You could draw, you could foil. You could work so that you're just going to keep it within that border area like a frame. You might go and actually put a background pattern all over. The choice is yours. So I think I'm going to do something a little bit bigger towards this centre section so that it's not going to take anywhere near as many turns. Yay! So let's pop my star back in the guide. And I'm going to go back. Now, our biggest area that we can work with, can you just put me on?
Oh, sorry, on camera. Up a little bit.
There we go.
That's beautiful.
The biggest area you can work with is going black to black. So I'm going to leave that one there for a moment. And let's go for something. Let's see what we've got in the drawing. That will kind of work. Let's try that. I'm just going to add it to the mat as is. So you can see there it is, and it's looking humongous. So, going to go to edit, and first of all we kind of need to rotate it around the right way. So bring it to the centre of the mat and rotate it twice so it's the right way up. We're then going to want to resize it. So you kind of want it big enough that it's going to miss your flower, but small enough that it's not going to kind of go over itself. If you can't get it to fit that way, let's take it up that way instead. So maybe a little bit smaller. Just trying to make sure I miss the petals so I can go okay. Okay. looks pretty good actually. So let's pop in a pen, dare I say. Can you pass me a zebra doodler, please?
What colour? Silver.
Silver, yeah.
It's a glitter one too.
So, in theory, being a glitter one, it's got a wider nib, so we shouldn't have as many issues, she says.
Well, I'm having a discussion with Andy at the same time, so
Okay.
we're discussing points and things we can add.
Okay. So, I'm going to go to draw. Oh, nearly. And let's just take that flower out. Just because, as much as I would love to say that it's going to line up perfectly, there's always a little leeway. So, off it pops. Oh, probably drawing on my mat. Well, it's just one of those days, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that in the right place at all. Let's pause that. Quit it. Because I am a naughty. Right, Natty, concentrate. Concentrate.
You can stick it down and then all over it. New background scan, my dear.
Behave.
No, they've missed it really.
See what you do to me. I was absolutely fine. I don't normally have these issues.
What are you going to do in the background scan? Check your revival.
It wasn't that, dear. I got my flowers mixed up. I put it in the wrong point.
Yeah, no,
I know.
And Deb says it's very versatile.
Yes, it is very versatile.
Oh no, not a pen.
So, hang on. I haven't moved my camera, have I? No.
So nobody saw your mistake.
That's okay then.
Just heard you chuckling about it and going,
No, you silly nutty. Okay, so now we're going to do a quarter turn so that the flower lines up with the dots.
You've missed me being here, really.
Yeah. I thought I'll do it while Ian's here because it'd be nice and easy to do it with him. I still managed to fluff it. Oh dear. I would say I'll speed the pen up, but
No. We're going to have a chat with Andy after as well. He's happy watching it. So.
okay.
There's popcorn in.
Okay. popcorn. Should have bought a fork and course lunch and a bottle or something.
There's our appointment at 2, thinking they ain't going to make it today.
And they were concerned that I'd be early. Yeah. Okay, 9:15. Line up the petals. Come on, baby.
Gosh, it's been fun today. If you're back here, the sun has got to Nat's head, I think.
Yeah.
She has sunburn. Oh, Miss Flash hasn't even been out in it yet.
How about you have got the blind open? Usually the blind doesn't get open, does it?
Oh yeah, that's true.
How's the light looking considering we've got the blind
Alright,
open?
it's looking good.
The other day when I did a test, it got really dark when I had the blind open, which was
It doesn't, it looks pretty good.
it's weird. It's so quiet when it draws, isn't it? Everybody's going, no, it's too complicated. No. It's not complicated, it's just Natty's doing a good job of not concentrating today.
He's all excited.
Yeah. I am, because I woke up with lots of ideas for it. Then I made the mistake of watching more craft videos and going, oh, actually, I've got some of that, that would work with it.
Overhead
There we go.
Take it off the mat and I'll swap it overhead for you.
Okay. So, there's. Let me pop that onto the back of there so you can see a bit better. There we go. So we have our backing piece. Now, with these outside points around here, we can actually trim those off so that you don't have to have them. So if you want to do a scalloped edge, you could do. If you just want to put a plain circle around, you can do that too. So I'm just going to, I might see if I can do a scallop. Should I try a scallop? Shall I be brave?
If you want to.
Okay.
Don't cut your template.
I will try not to.
Or is this now at the point that once you've actually put it in play and you say you could remove it, but then you still risk it
moving?
So
yeah, so it's one of those where you're better off leaving it in situ. So I'm going to go, okay. I'm going to pop the camera back up there. I'm going to go back. Let's see if I can just. Now we're going to do a background scan, because now that we've done all those bits and pieces, we want to see it in situ. Okay, so I'm going to then put a scallop around it, I think. So let's go add pattern, basic shapes, down, down, a bit more down, and so this one has, that one might work. Let's try that one. So BA A050. And I'm going to add that onto my mat so we can see that up there, and let's delete our little drawn shape because we don't need that anymore, and we can move that into the middle. So I'm going to get that roughly right, won't be perfect but be close enough, and let's pop that scan a little bit lighter so we can see where our cut areas are, and we can see where our start is, and that's kind of what we really need to see so that we know that we're not going into our cut areas at all. We're going to go to Object Edit, Resize, and size it up. Whee! Okay, and at this point we can go, well, it needs to nudge slightly, so we'll do that first so that we get that more or less centered. Okay, and we can resize it back down if we need to, just slightly. And then we're going to go back to nudge, and I'm just going to zoom in and just double check that, number one, I'm not cutting into my template, number two, we're not cutting into any of the flowers, and number three, that's as central as we can possibly get it, and that looks fairly promising. So let's go OK with that. Okay, okay, and I'm going to finish that off with the vinyl blade. Okay, cut. Oh, I knew it was going to do that because it was going to start down the bottom first and be a pain. Do you know that machine? Yeah, being a pain. Two ways of drawing a circle. You go and be awkward. Probably not. Maybe slightly off, but so because you want it to be accurate when you're doing these things, it's better off on a new mat. Just, I broke my mat last night.
I mean, and you may have come up with a solution. What's moved?
It's lifted up the card. It's been right naughty today, isn't it? Anybody think I upset it last night? Question is, I suppose, yeah, I do want it to do it all again. You naughty, naughty machine. I did upset it a lot, didn't I, last night? Yeah, it chewed up a mat. And decided it would be a really good idea to eat it sideways, didn't it?
Not only does the monkey days not want to draw, she doesn't want to cut either.
No, she's throwing a right strop with me today. How far out did it go? That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. I'll let her off. There you go. So, just so I can show you what you get. I'll try and line it up with my guide properly. There you go. So you can see the difference it makes doing that. So then we have a nice mat. And of course you could have done lots of intricate cut work if you wanted to, and if your machine would behave. Yeah. Put it this way, I ended up cutting bits out by hand last night, didn't I? Because it was that upset with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then my blade wouldn't work in my knife, so I had to change the blade.
Well,
yeah. It wasn't good. But I like it. And so there's your two options. So if you go for the star and you go bigger, and you can see how much bigger you can go compared to your 6-inch square, or you can just work with a 6-inch square rather than having to worry about cutting anything.
So clever. Gosh, it was cool.
It's cute. I'm dying to put some sequins on that. I'm like, no. Back away from the sequins. We've got to sort out computers, haven't we? So
we have. Back to work.
Yes.
Have a week off. No, let's go do some work.
Yeah. Have a week off to do the work that you don't do because you're usually working. If that's what you really mean. And I'm like, oh, that one you could put a little. There you go. If you want to. There you go. Save the wonky daisies.
Use the lights that drop shadow.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's
yeah, that's us done, and we've got to have food, haven't we, before we start working. Okay, so hopefully that's given you a bit of an introduction, and please excuse my machine that is, yeah, throwing a strop with me, bless it. So I've had to use an old mat today, haven't I? It's not happy.
That is cheating not to be covering it all. No, that's clever crafting, Carol. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's minimising your waste. That's what it is. Being frugal with your card. Use your waste to decorate the pieces that you're not entirely happy with. Yeah. That's it. So yes. So whether you want to do that on your machine, or if you want to work on, like I said, your station or something like that, then you can basically use a hinge system to actually. Thank you, dear. There we go. Enter stage right. Let's move these out of the way.
You could use those to hold your bit of card in place, couldn't you?
Yes, that's what you do. That's what they're there for.
Ooh.
You will do that thing. Shouldn't have.
Whip you within a minute.
There we go. So you'd put your magnet on there. Then copy guide, put that back dot like so. Stencil if you happen to have one to hand. And stay right. It was either that or Pretty Acoustic, so yeah. So you would get your masking tape, which I know is staring at me because it's usually around on my desk somewhere. Okay, no.
It's always round because it's a roll.
Duh. These are the jokes, folks.
Over there, maybe.
Over there, maybe.
Yeah, over in that corner. Stand up and move the cloth on the top.
Ah, there. Good. Don't knock the mouse. And attach your masking tape to your top. Line it up to your frame. Press it down. Now, I'm going to go and make a big section. So,
Don't stick that.
yeah, because I've got to get my card under there in a minute. Come on, there we go. There we go. And I'll need it to be a little bit longer because of that bit there. I thought I could get away with using a lot less than a hair. One little bit there. Okay. Lift out the guide. And let's go. It's not quite the right size, actually.
It was a guess.
I'm going to be in trouble, aren't I?
Why?
Right, because I'm still crapping. Actually, let's go that way around. Go on the diagonal. Okay. And pass me an ink pad. That will look good on yellow. Okay. Questionable the decision on colour there, but
Trust me, you look fabulous.
so I'm going to go up to my masking tape. It's a long one today, isn't it?
Long? Especially when you've got an appointment, you're supposed to be keeping it too.
Yeah.
It's going to be lunch on the go, isn't it?
I know that, but Mum's supposed to be decorating. She'd be like, come on, I need to get the painting done.
Your mum gave up hours ago.
I could say something there, but I won't. So I'm going and doing a quarter one just because it's quick. But if you just wanted to do an individual little section so that you have a nice rotating pattern, you could do so, especially with something that's got lots of small detail, as this pattern's a bit larger, so you won't really get the same. Last one. There we go. So when's the pre-order going live then, dear? He says now, probably about tonight now. By the time
Technically it's already up because it's on the foil show, just have to go down to set 2, pre-order. It's there, ready and waiting.
Okay. Have you put a link up?
Same one that already exists, so it's just on...
And there we go.
That's cool.
This is, isn't it?
That's really funky actually, I like that. See, and the pink looks good. Doubted me on that.
So there you go. And I'll clean my stencil now. So, any questions on anything I've covered today? There's a few little bits and techniques I haven't got round to showing yet, so I will do those when I get there. So probably about a week's time.
So what's the question?
I said I will get round to doing corners in what, about a week's time? Because am I off from streaming now?
Yes, we're having a week off, aren't we?
Yes. By orders of the management. So what I will say is I will see you. We might do one next Friday, mightn't we, before you go back?
Yeah, if they're lucky.
Especially if we've got the actual prototype here that we can actually, well, not the actual prototype, you know what I mean, the actual thing.
Yes.
So that I can actually show it in a bit more detail and then I can do corners, borders, frames and all the rest of it. And Carol says, thanks, it's a cool idea, but she's off.
Yeah,
That's
no,
okay, we need to be going too.
Yeah.
So I will say bye bye for now, and thank you for joining me for this super long one. And take care, see you soon, bye.